Hi, it's Dr. Amy Brown. I am a triple board certified physician in OBGYN, fertility medicine, and lifestyle medicine. Here are 6 foods that I consider superfoods for women that have PCOS or insulin resistance and are trying to conceive or not trying to conceive. They're still superfoods. Okay, coming in at number 6, we have wild caught salmon. Now, I chose this for the list for a couple of different reasons. One is the really high protein content. So, women that have PCOS, we are trying to constantly bring down insulin levels and blood sugar spikes, and protein is really good at that. So, when you have high levels of protein and you are eating protein and some other kind of macro at the same time, you're going to have lower blood sugar spikes and insulin spikes. Protein also helps keep you fuller longer. And wild caught salmon also has really good fat that is anti-inflammatory, really high in omega-3 fatty acids, but make sure it's wild caught. So that's why that's number 6 on my list, wild caught salmon. Okay, coming in at number 5 are eggs. So eggs, just like the salmon, have high levels of protein, high levels of really good quality fat. They also have choline in the egg yolk. So protein and fat, again, are going to keep you fuller longer. They're going to affect your insulin levels, your insulin sensitivity, and it's going to promote you, again, staying a lot fuller for a lot longer, and it's going to make sure that your blood sugar levels are staying nice and flat, and it's also going to help with inflammation. Okay, number 4, of course, had to be a vegetable, and I'm going to pick green leafy vegetables. I have arugula here, but if I had to pick one for the list, I would probably pick spinach. And I picked spinach because it is a green leafy vegetable, so it's going to have the folate, it's going to have magnesium, some fiber, tons of micronutrients. But for me, I talk about things that I can use practically, and spinach has so much versatility. It's kind of a mild leafy green, so you can put it in anything. You can put spinach in your smoothies. You can put it with your eggs, like in an omelet. You can put it in a sandwich. You can just eat it on a salad. So green leafy vegetables, again, very, very high levels of micronutrients. It's going to affect and decrease inflammation, which is so important for women that have PCOS. It's already a pro-inflammatory state because of the high insulin levels and the visceral fat. So green leafy vegetables, I pick spinach as number 1. Okay, number 3 on the list, of course, has to be fruits. We absolutely need to eat more fruits and vegetables. And if I had to pick one for women that have PCOS and are trying to conceive, I would pick a berry of some sort. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, anything that's going to add a lot of color to your plate is going to increase those micronutrients that are inside. They have sugar, they have carbohydrates, which are good. We all need carbohydrates. But with women that have PCOS, if I was going to pick one, these have a very low glycemic index, meaning the sugar that they have, because it's wrapped up in that fiber and the water, is not going to increase your blood sugar as quickly as some other sugars. Now, I don't put any fruit on the no-no list for women that have PCOS because it's a different type of carbohydrate than like a processed food. But if I had to put, number 1 on the fruit list for a superfood, I'm going to pick these berries. Okay, number 2 on the list. This is controversial, and I realize that. But number 2 on my list is going to be tofu. Now, I know tofu and soy products, especially in PCOS, can be controversial. It's because tofu and soy are phytoestrogens, so they mimic estrogen activity. And so people think of PCOS as being very highly estrogenic, but these type of estrogens are anti-estrogen in a lot of different places. And if you look at the studies, there's a study, the Nurses Health study, that showed that if you have a higher level of plant-based proteins compared to meat-based proteins, there was a higher level of ovulation. And there's some studies that show more plant-based proteins improve pregnancy rates with different fertility treatments like IVF. So I know a little controversial to put on the list, but definitely a solid number 2 on my list. And the number 1 fertility superfood for women that have PCOS or insulin resistance, I bet you guys saw this coming, lentils or beans. So for me, lentils and beans definitely take the number 1 spot. They have so much fiber in addition to protein, but fiber is really pro gut health. So in your microbiome in your gut, there are a lot of bacteria that need to be fed, and they love fiber. Fiber is going to improve your gut health, which has its own hormonal system. It's going to increase your insulin sensitivity, and it's going to decrease your blood sugars, all while promoting a really healthy gut. The other thing is you have good healthy carbs in beans and lentils. So there are some kind of misconceptions that when you have PCOS or insulin resistance, you need to avoid carbs. That's not true. We need carbs, every one of us, to survive. Carbs give us energy, but we do need the right kind of carbs. You don't want to have simple carbohydrates like cakes, things like that will increase your blood sugar. These carbs actually decrease your blood sugar because of the fiber and how they're packaged. They're also very cheap, and they also can be stable on your shelf for a long, long time. So that's why they hit the number 1 position on my list. So those are my 6 fertility superfoods for women that have PCOS or insulin resistance. So we have a lot of protein, we have a lot of fiber, we have a lot of anti-inflammatory foods, and a lot of foods with really high levels of micronutrients and antioxidants. So the next time you are at the store, you want to grab these for sure. I also have a fertility guide of 12 fertility superfoods that you need to get the next time you're at the grocery store. You can just let me know that you want the list, and I'll send it to you. For anyone in Texas, I've already created the list, and all you have to do is click on it, send you a link to your HEB so that you can just add it to your cart and you can pick it up the next time you go to the store. All right, hope you guys have a great day.